Vikings built in some of the wettest, coldest and most punishing environments in Europe. Salt spray, freezing rain, snowmelt and constant humidity should have destroyed their wooden ships and halls within years. Yet ship timbers recovered from the seabed, stave churches standing after 9 centuries, and archaeological post remains all tell the same story. Viking builders did not fight water with rigid barriers. They controlled it, redirected it, and used it to strengthen their materials. The waterproofing technique they relied on is almost never used today, even though it outperforms many modern solutions when applied correctly. Understanding this method changes how you think about wood, moisture, and durability. The Viking solution treated water as something to manage, rather than block. Modern waterproofing focuses on sealing wood completely. Plastic membranes, paints, and synthetic sealants attempt to keep water out forever, and when they fail catastrophically. Vikings took a different approach. They assumed wood would get wet. Their goal was to ensure it never stayed wet long enough to rot. This philosophy shaped every part of their construction. Instead of trapping moisture behind barriers, they built systems that shed water quickly and allowed constant drying. This single shift in thinking explains why Viking structures endured in environments that destroy modern buildings. The core technique, you see, combined pine tar saturation with heat and, well, a good deal of repetition. The most important element of Viking waterproofing was pine tar, but not really in the way most people understand it today. Viking tar was not brushed on cold as a surface coating. Instead, it was heated until thin and, absorbed deeply into the wood. The timber itself was also warm, often from sunlight or a controlled fire, allowing the tar to penetrate far beyond just the surface fibres. This process was repeated multiple times over the life of a structure. Tar was not a one-time application, not at all. Ships were re-tarred seasonally. Roof shingles were treated again and again. Each cycle pushed the waterproofing deeper, slowly transforming the wood into a water-resistant composite. To apply this today, you'll want to warm pine tar until it flows easily, then warm the wood as well, and apply the tar generously with a brush or cloth. Allow it to soak in fully before repeating. The wood will darken, harden, and repel water without becoming brittle. Why pine tar worked when modern sealants often fail. Pine tar contains natural phenols, resins, and antimicrobial compounds. These repel insects, inhibit fungal growth, and remain flexible in cold temperatures. Unlike modern coatings, pine tar does not form a rigid shell. It moves with the wood as humidity and temperature change, preventing cracks that allow water entry. This flexibility is critical. Viking builders understood that cracked waterproofing is worse than none at all. Their materials bent, swelled, and shrank without losing protection. Joint design was as important as the waterproofing material itself. Vikings engineered joints that tightened when wet rather than opening. Overlapping planks, beveled edges, and compression joints ensured that water pressure improved the seal instead of defeating it. On ships, the famous clinker-built hull allowed planks to swell together when wet, closing gaps naturally. For modern builders, this principle can be applied by designing overlaps instead of butt joints, sloping surfaces so water runs off, and avoiding flat horizontal seams where moisture collects. Charring strengthened the waterproofing instead of replacing it. Before tar was applied, Viking builders often lightly charred wood surfaces. This killed surface organisms, sealed pores, and created a carbon layer that absorbed tar more effectively. The char did not replace the tar. It worked with it, increasing penetration and longevity. You can reproduce this by lightly torching exterior wood, brushing away loose carbon, then applying warm pine tar or oil. This combination dramatically improves resistance to rot, insects and moisture. Roofing systems completed the waterproofing strategy. Viking turf roofs are often misunderstood as primitive. In reality, they were highly effective moisture control systems. Birch bark layers beneath the turf acted as waterproof membranes, while the turf regulated temperature and absorbed excess water. Drainage and slope ensured that moisture never stagnated. Even without turf, the lesson is clear. Layered systems outperform single barriers, allow materials to absorb, release, and redirect water instead of trapping it. Why this technique disappeared despite its effectiveness? The Viking waterproofing system required maintenance, patience, and skilled observation. Industrial building replaced renewal with replacement. Chemical treatments promised permanence, but delivered fragility. What was lost was not knowledge, but respect for wood as a living material. For survivalists, traditional builders, and serious history students, this technique offers independence from fragile modern supply chains. Pine tar, fire, and intelligent design are tools available almost anywhere. If this exploration deepened your understanding of how the Vikings built to last, support the channel by subscribing, sharing this with fellow history enthusiasts, and helping keep serious historical knowledge alive on In the Beginning.